What is something people underestimate the danger of? Chemicals for sure. There are a lot of dangerous chemicals you can buy in the grocery store that can do serious damage if they ever mix. I didn't even really give any thought or respect to cleaning chemicals until I started working in wastewater and saw we were using the same chemicals in higher quantities to treat our water. Bleach and vinegar especially can do some damage. You wouldn't think vinegar is dangerous, but when you concentrate it to use as a neutralizer for high pH caustics, that stuff will give you acid burns and damage your sinuses if you aren't careful. People regularly go out in intense sunlight during the summertime without sun protection, putting them at risk for melanoma. A good mnemonic to remember: moles suspicious for melanoma. Asymmetrical. B borders irregular. C colors more than one color in a mole. D diameter 6 mm. E evolving mole changes over time. This is the most important risk factor. If caught early, melanoma has a good prognosis. If it has spread systematically, the prognosis is poor. Driving. You're driving 60 miles per hour, surrounded by other people doing the same thing, and we are all trying not to hit each other. If we do, we can die instantly and kill innocent people. What do we do with this responsibility? Text and eat while driving. We take it for granted and barely pay attention while we play with our fast death machines. 43,000 people die in the USA in car accidents a year. That's 117 people a day, and we don't really care. Candles. A candle that is unwatched, depending on the size of the container and how long it's been burning, can spontaneously ignite the entire wax base below the wick, or have the lit wick fall off and light the base. For pillar candles, it will shatter the candle glass, and most fires involving candles start this way. Having a lot of friends, especially as kids in middle and high school, it seems like fun being with a lot of people and all the energy, but under all of that is so much toxic conversation. Everyone secretly talks about each other, starts up rumors, and slowly everyone turns on each other and break apart. Nobody's leaving happy. Escalators. Listen, not a year goes by, not a year, that I don't hear about some escalator accident involving some bastard kid which could have easily been avoided had some parent, I don't care which one, but some parent conditioned him to fear and respect that escalator. Driving slowly on the interstate. It's not safer, it's actually putting more people at risk. If there's someone speeding, that's one fast object going around multiple objects. When it's someone 20 under the limit in the middle lane, everyone has to move to avoid them. Not taking antibiotics as prescribed. A lot of idiots will stop taking them when they feel better. This ensures that the bacteria that are somewhat resistant to antibiotics will survive, and that's a major reason we have antibiotic-resistant diseases. We constantly underestimate the risks of inaction. Outside of the chronically impulsive, most of us look back on past mistakes and wish we took action sooner. Doing nothing for extended periods of time leads us to the worst possible outcome. Garage door springs. I'll try to fix anything, but those are really dangerous. Some folks were confused when a 14-foot high door jumped the track a bit at work, and I refused to let anyone near it. The tension in that spring is insane. Water. I think some underestimate how powerful it can be. Currents can be terrifying. People tend to get cocky in bodies of water, from lakes and oceans to the everyday pool. Seemingly harmless animals, like deer, can mess you up. Getting drunk. I'm not advocating for total sobriety. People have the free will to do what they want. But the total lack of control and inhibition when people get drunk is scary and eye-opening when you look at it from a sober mind. Wildlife. The dumbest encounters I've seen have been tourists approaching moose in Colorado. Bullwinkle was a cute cartoon, but what would compel a person to try to go pet an animal that dwarfs the SUV they just got out of? CO2. Too many people out there playing with dry ice in dangerous ways, not realizing that cool cloud can rob you of breath and kill you in a quickness. Especially in swimming pools. That's a recipe for tragic death. Piranha solution. That shit is scary, and some dumbass a finger to it. Edit for anyone interested, you can make it by mixing concentrated sulfuric acid with hydrogen peroxide. PLS, don't drink it though. Bears. For many reasons too, either people think they're cuddly, or they severely underestimate how the bear is essentially the pinnacle of apex predators. You can't climb, hide, run or fight your way past one. Traveling alone without a man if you're a woman, even then if you travel with another woman it's dangerous. If a man is present it usually demotivates anything bad that might happen. Pools. Kids drown more often than anyone is aware. Also, head injuries from diving in too shallow. Also, the occasional teenager who jumps off the roof or from a tree and misses. Distracting driving. That text you just sent? Your car traveled several hundred feet without you being aware of what you hit. Like a little kid running out from between cars. Dogs. A leading cause of why people, especially children, end up in the ER. People love their dogs so underestimate the chance they could snap at a stranger or someone they know. Fighting. I cringe every time I see some dummies fighting on concrete. All it takes is one bad fall, and either you're dead permanently disabled or you're headed to prison. Right-wing fascism. US has underestimated it for the last 40 years and we suffered an attempted coup, and the coup redux is continuing to progress at a breakneck pace. Running water. Rivers, creeks, floods. Rivers and such hold so much weight and energy it's hard to imagine, until you are swept away, sucked down, pinned, etc. I feel like alcohol, especially going out and getting drunk every single weekend, is something way worse for us than most of us know or really think about. Driving close to the car in front of you. Keep a distance of 3 seconds. Every time you ride with someone, try to pay attention to their following distance. Not exercising. You get to the age where the people that took care of themselves start to stand out once the ones that didn't start dropping dead. Using their phone while driving causes more accidents and deaths than drunk driving, yet everyone still does it and acts like it's not a big deal. Using disinfectant and humidifier will cause lung injuries and even deaths. It is also dangerous if you accidentally mix bleach with alcohol. Horses and cows, one kick in the right spot and you're dead, and cows can swing their head with enough force to kill you. The voltage of live wire. Saw a YouTube video recently with a guy who made a piano that plays with electric arcs. Wild animals. People walk up to buffalo in Yellowstone like they're not 1,500 pounds of meat that will fuck them up. Dehydration. I feel like too many people don't realize how easily it can kill you if you're not paying attention. Climate change. No matter what issue is important to you, climate change is going to drastically affect it. Cannabis edibles. Okay, maybe not dangerous, but overdo it and you will be convinced you are going to die. The crowds. If you've ever been in the middle of a panicking crowd movement, then you know what I mean. Raccoons. Those FCKRS look nice and sweet, but they are not afraid of biting the hand that feed them. Historical times. It is interesting to learn them, but it is not fucking funny to live in them. If our Wadakagorong is any indication, fire, driving through a flood and playground equipment. Prolonged social isolation. Hurts the individual and threatens a society they're ignored by. Probably car deaths. It's very low but still one of the biggest causes of preventable deaths. Wet rocks, boulders. Seen people jump on them as if they are jumping on a flat surface. Household cleaning chemicals. Mix the wrong ones together and you have big issues. Social media and specifically short videos designed to lower your attention span. Office chairs. The cheap ones literally explode if you sit on them too hard. Just because it's late at night and nobody is around doesn't mean it's safe. How much better off poorest Americans are compared to most of the world. Putting your feet on the dashboard while riding in the passenger seat. Using objects like stools or tables to reach things instead of ladders. The water currents at the beach are underestimated far too often. Escalators. Snakes. I damn near have a heart attack every time I see one. Domesticated animals. They're still animals, and things happen. Woodworking power tools like a table saw, router, lathe, etc. Trump's hair. Bro, trust me, once it goes wild we're all dead. Electricity. The jolt that runs your lamp can kill you. Third world countries. They have the laws of the jungle.